Hello once again, dear listener, TW here, and thank you again for tuning in, and thank you very much to all our Patreon supporters, especially Sean, who's at the top tier presently. So welcome, join me as I delve into 100 years of horror, one flick at a time. 1929, An Andulisian Dog, and no, I'm not going to attempt the French pronunciation. To say it is a piece of surreal art is a severe understatement. A precursor to, probably, every piece of surrealism you've ever seen and loved or loathed, this film is a seemingly disconnected series of abstract performances that are driven by emotion rather than the sense of plot and relatable or even understandable characters. While this is typical of what was and was to become the standard for this type of art, what we see here is a creative team pushing the envelope with such ferocity they cared little who caught a paper cut along the way. Only through exploring and pushing boundaries do we know how far we should go. That it was inspired by dreams should be no surprise. Does the film go too far? Contemporaries certainly thought so, with the infamous slicing of the eyeball. The so-called elites enjoyed it, others reviled it. The film was intended and indeed destined to shock. To quote a fictional politician, perhaps the film doesn't not go too far enough. What does it mean? Well, that's not really the point. If you try to understand every detail, you're likely wasting your time. What does it feel like to you is perhaps the better question. Salvador Dali was one of the main creative forces behind the film, and there isn't enough time to break down Dali's credentials, but that he was known more generally as an artist rather than a filmmaker is evident here. I hesitate to say more, but symbolism is rife. A woman being attacked, molested, a missing hand, a rotten hand filled with vermin, a woman shaving under her arms as a form of protest. A clear theme and a surprisingly chipper ending, relative to comparable works, makes a fairly clear statement against the patriarchy. Is that just my 21st century interpretation? Perhaps. Further dissection is ill-advised and certainly against the author's intent. Is this even horror? Well, perhaps it is best to call it a piece of abstract art with horrific elements, and that's good enough. Should you watch this film? Easy. Have you ever watched the more abstract works of David Lynch and thought, nah, far too sensible? At a little over 20 minutes, or under, version depending, it doesn't overstay its welcome. A historical footnote, the film received a sequel that gained the desired impact of a veritable burning at the stake. Both pieces are available for your pleasure, or let's say viewing, online. Thank you for joining me on this first run. The 1920s are done. Coming later this year, the 1930s, and, oh boy, will things take off as the talkies take over. If I could summarize this series so far, it would be that all films have something to make them stand out, perhaps being the first of their kind. However, those that stand out atop all others also have layers of craft. Not just a good idea, but good direction, good execution at every level. Not all are absolute classics, but a few of them are. There are many more to come.